I'm running so late for work right now that my hair is still wet at the back and I haven't finished doing my makeup. So let me know in the comments below how awful I look. Anyway, we have an update of our favourite train wreck, Onision, as 2 more people have come out and spoken about his shit show. What else can we call it at this point? Also, this is just old foundation stains that won't come out. It's nothing else. Promise. Billy, who I like to think of as Onision's the one that got away, has finally spoken out about what she went through with Kai and Onision. She made an account on Twitter called lol be mad, because that's what she texted him once whilst he was narc raging at her, and she has released a bunch of screenshots. Guess I'm going to start with the fact Greg was never supposed to be involved, and they had me walk into this thinking it was just me getting to know Kai, but he hit us with the I thought this was going to be a three-way relationship at the dinner table. Never really discussed it. I'm in a hetero relationship, but he's really supportive of me pursuing girls, just so you know. Yeah, I bet he is. And like, not with him involved, just me. That aged terribly. I hope that's okay with you. Okay, good. I don't want to overstep boundaries. That's perfectly okay with me. Yay. I'm really happy right now. Well, hi. I guess I should formally introduce myself. I'm Lainey. Hi, I'm Billy. Tell me about yourself. This is probably the most enthused I've ever seen Kai text anyone. A month after me and Kai started to get to know each other, Greg was already pressuring us to date and for me to ask him out, like hella pushing it. I didn't ask Kai out, but he asked me not too long after this, so I can only imagine Greg pressured him to do so. This is between Greg and Billy. Do you ever think about dating Lainey? Lainey wanted to know, but I told her I would ask you. I hope you feel comfortable answering, because Lainey can't speak for herself, ever. I do. I'm not sure how she'd feel about it though. I feel like her family would freak out if they'd known. I noticed how stressed she was about the internet and the kissing thing last time. She and I talked in depth about everything. Her biggest concern was losing me, according to what she said. But she knows there is no risk of that because of our conversations. So, really all that is left to worry about is her family, which she isn't actually as worried as you might think. She's wanted a haircut for some time but never got it till I encouraged her. I did a whole video about this almost a year ago. She was afraid to analyse herself and her attraction to women, but again I encouraged her. No ulterior motives, Onision's just such a good guy. I want Lainey to be Lainey, nothing less. I also think you're pretty great. So, like I said, her family has seen her go through a few transitions where she's been with me. They've made a few phobic comments about but Lainey would rather be herself than let them try to make her... Oh, for fuck's sake. Why does he write such fucking essays, Greg? No one fucking cares. I'm getting so mad because I'm like so late for work and I've really got to get this video out. But seriously, he's always writing these fucking essays. Like, write a few more shitty books or something. Jesus Christ. She's strong like that. Lastly, as far as Lainey worrying about the internet, that doesn't last long after she comes to me about it. She keeps saying people keep saying horrible things and I respond, keep reminding her that what she is doing is what she should be doing. According to who? This is what she wants. It's what I want. There we go. We're both happier because of the person she really is. Being who you truly are, seeking out happiness is over internet comments. Anyway, now it's a race to see who will ask out the other first. I haven't told Lainey about your response yet because I've been writing all the above, so, you know, maybe ask her if you see this in time. Good, I'm glad you can talk to her to give her a more positive perspective on everything. So wait, should I ask her out or should I ask her about it? I have never initiated anything in my entire life. How do I go about everything? Ask her, like, now. He's always doing that little tongue face. He's always doing that little face, yeah, and Greg makes loads of sock puppet accounts so he can harass people on Twitter. So if you see someone defending Greg, talking in Greg's way and doing those little faces, it's Greg. This is from when Greg tried to get me and Ayala to stay longer after the whole Billy cheated on me but my husband didn't cheat situation. I know I'm not entirely innocent of this, but I did say more than once that I didn't think Lainey would be okay with what was going on. Billy, you were 18. Greg was 30, 31. The lack of communication in the house is horrifying. Greg told Kai he was going to do whatever he wanted. Then Kai told me not to let that happen, but he told Greg he could do whatever. So I was stuck trying to tell Greg no, as he's already all over me the second he sees me. Honestly, I was afraid to say no because I thought he was going to get mad at me or Lainey, and at the time my thought process clearly wasn't the best. But his reaction every time I said anything about it not being okay, he would just try to reassure to me that it was. Can't speak today. After this entire mess, I ran up and cried to Ayala about what had happened, and Greg went and told Kai he had sex with me, and it just became this huge thing of everyone sitting in a different room fighting as Greg ran back and forth to talk to us all about it, tried to fix it. Why is it like a soap opera? It's like an episode of EastEnders. Eventually, at the dinner table, Greg flipped it all on me, saying he couldn't believe I'd do that because I had talked to Kai about it prior, saying that I would have sex with him. Like, I'm not laughing at Billy, I'm just laughing at the idea of Greg sitting there at the dinner table being like, Billy, this is all your fault that I had sex with you. I can't believe you did this to me and Kai. Kai's crying now, thanks. He's such a prick. So yeah, it ended up being all my fault and I was somehow the one that cheated, but Greg was trying to make everything work still, so he made us sign a contract saying we would stay longer to work things out. Him and his stupid little fucking contracts they probably types up by himself in his room. That's when he started bringing up me getting a Lily tattoo for Lainey with our ship name because it was apparently Lily. I said no, I thought it was a dumb idea to get a tattoo like that, but he kept trying to convince me to show my loyalty and do it for Lainey. You're not fighting for love, Billy. So after a minute, Ayala walks out and hears him trying to convince me to get a tattoo, and he literally asked my best friend if she thought it was a good idea. Of course she said hell no. He was surprised that she said no too, so he tried to talk to her alone for a while to convince her why I should. And at that point, we were already trying to get out the door, sneaking out the house, trying to get away from their craziness. We hid in this little mini house they had at the time, trying to call an Uber to get the fuck out of there. And he didn't even want to let me go. It's funny he said I made him walk in the rain in this too, because it's his ass followed me. Why would I need him to follow me when I'm trying to escape? Onision to Ayala and Billy emails. Here's your flight info. Read if you care to know my parting thoughts. No one cares to know, Greg. I'm blocking your numbers again due to the fact I had put so much on the line to defend you, Billy, and after saying you loved us, you still abandoned us in the middle of the night. It's so dramatic. You betrayed my love and all the times I fought to defend your actions, not accents. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with their accents. Trying to convince Lainey you meant well when it is clear now that is not the case. I fought so hard to keep you in our lives. I love the person I thought you were. You know I did everything I could to be there for you and keep us all together. You ruined all hope when you left. I told you that is what leaving meant and you still walked out. You even had me walk in the rain in the middle of the night barefoot to do that. Watch you throw our lives away. Oh bro, you knew Billy for like what, 6 months? Meanwhile you had this whole life with Kai and children with Kai. I think it just really shows how much higher he values Billy over Kai. He would describe Kai as like the cupcake and Billy is the fun blue sprinkles that go on the top of the cupcake. Like Kai is just the boring cake bit and Billy is the nice sugary bit on top. Lainey was right about you. It was my fault for trusting you. Regardless, I hope you both have safe travels home and live happy lives. I really do. Goodbye. I kid you not, Onision has sent me endless emails about my 99 chicken legend from McDonald's because I had to do my taxes since he employed me, and it's just hilarious that I have all these. He sent me a 10.99 in the mail. He even texted Ayala to tell me to do my taxes. He was stressing hard. I wonder why. Yeah, some stuff about her taxes. It's interesting they said, I'm just writing to ensure Billy is aware I'm happy to pay her taxes for her. As this is her first time doing taxes, it is essential that she actually does them. Sounds like their dad. What a weird relationship dynamic. You sound like their dad. And then whatever the fuck this apology is with an added, please do your taxes, I'm desperate at the bottom. I was horrible to both of you, I'm sorry. He's capitalised it all like it's a YouTube video title. How I handled things was horrible. I said things that did not need to be said. I felt so justified and self-righteous that I thought nothing else mattered. Initially, we all knew Billy lying was wrong, but I no longer had the moral high ground when I revealed way more than I should have and treated Billy like she didn't mean much to me, simply because I was so upset, self-righteous that I felt I could do no wrong. Something has stood out for days and bothers me about what Billy said, implying she was just a plaything. That was never the case. If Billy was that, we would not have tried so hard to work things out for so long. Billy was like Greg's escape route, because Greg doesn't want to stay with Kai. I think that's obvious to everyone in the world except for Kai. We would not let Billy lie Son many times, taking her back if she was like that. We both loved Billy, but when we got lied to most recently, we let our anger, sadness take over most of our love. That's all I could focus on, and I hurt you, Billy. I'm very sorry. Keep in mind he's sending grovelling emails, but then he's also saying stuff like this on live streams.
My and Lainey's ex is such a fucking loser, criminal, scumbag piece of shit. A loser, liar, piece of shit, scumbag, pothead, fucking moron. The dumb bitch. Just so you don't even fucking wash your armpits, stink up our whole house. Your scumbag piece of shit ass. You are gross. You high school dropout, criminal piece of shit. What a useless, dumb bitch. Enjoy your fucking dirty, sloppy, secondhand girlfriend.
What I said about being willing to be tortured by Billy was true. Not breaking up with her over the lie, continuing to let me down. This wasn't some fling. I meant it when I talked about growing old together. I meant everything. But that is all wrecked, and all I have left are apologies. Ideally, we would both forgive Billy. She would forgive me, and we would move forward with the original plan of Ayala moving out here, you two being able to... He wanted Ayala to join them as well. That's so weird. At the time, a house full of just young women living with him. He's just trying to start his cult again, that's all it is. Spoke legally here just over a year, but I'm not in control and Lainey can't get hurt anymore. So this is not me trying to repair what we had. Lainey has been hurt too much for that. This is just me explaining how sorry I am. I will never be negatively mentioning any friendship or relationship in videos again, as I went way too far. On a totally different note, please let me know about taxes. I offered to pay Billy's tax this year. I need to make sure they will be filed so there are no fees. Thank you. So Billy's a junkie if she smokes weed. She's just a drug user. But as soon as it's legal, then it's perfectly fine. Onision logic. Shiloh's tweet that we read out before, in which Onision obsesses over Sky's sister's boudoir photos. Billy adds to it, let me just add that he showed me these pictures too on his phone around the first time we met. He either already had them saved or knew exactly where to find them. More manipulation, both in the same day, a few hours apart. This is when they made Sarah stop talking to me and Greg blocked me off of Sarah's You Now. They basically forced her to answer questions they wanted answers to. About Lainey. Last night you showed up at the live stream and Lainey sobbed uncontrollably. Lainey is just so pathetic. They clearly still love you. Lainey also dreams about you regularly. They just told me last night, they just told me about a dream they had about you last. I made the mistake of trying to make this a three-way relationship. If I never did that, there would have been barely any breakups, if any at all. What I'm saying is I've been the most judgmental and decisive in this relationship, so I'm probably not supposed to be in it. Lainey wasn't the problem. I want them to be happy. If you still love Lainey, please consider getting back with them and only them. If not, sorry for bothering you. Bye, Billy. Onision on his forums has also replied back to these rumours, saying the rumours are absurd and don't require addressing considering the silly nature of them. They're silly because the age of consent in Washington is 16. I have a feeling that Greg has this map of all the states in America, and he's written down the age of consent in each state. The document signed was a medical waiver, as I've been informed, not guardianship. There'll be no legal reason to wait till 18, and there was still nothing right when the person turned 18, like people said. The fact pretty much says it all. Therefore, grooming allegations are silly. Why did your husband send news to a 17-year-old? My husband has never had any interest in sending anyone under 18 any images as you described. If you knew him, you'd know that's a fact. I mean, I'm not putting them on here, but they're on Twitter. We've seen them. How are you going to wriggle your way out of that one? Found this email from Kai, but it looks very similar to what Greg sends me, so I don't know, especially the end. Also, they end everything in bye Billy, but never actually leave me alone. Bye, Billy. Hi, Billy. Hey, Billy, it's Lainey. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, and I understand that. Don't feel obligated to respond. I'm not looking for any sort of reconciliation or anything. I just have a few things I'd like to say to you. I was reading through Greg's text because of all this Sarah drama, so I was looking for something, but saw basically everything that's happened for our relationship. I did a lot of wrong things that I didn't realise were hurtful at the time because I was too wrapped up in being the victim. Like the time that you texted me saying you were sad and I didn't even say anything to you. I couldn't believe I did that when I read it, but at the same time it seemed like nothing. And all the times I got upset with you for no reason besides my own insecurities. I'm so sorry that I treated you like that. I can understand why you were totally fed up with me. I wanted to say sorry for all the stress I put you through. I also wanted to say thank you for all the times you were there when I needed you. Thank you for all the times you held me and watched movies with me when Greg wouldn't talk to me, and for all the times you just listened and played with my hair while I cried. Thank you for playing Pokemon Go with me and going to that fun dog show with me. I'll never regret my relationship with you, and I meant it when I said I will probably always love you. Again, don't feel obligated to say anything. I hope this doesn't upset you, and I'm really sorry if it does. I just wanted you to know these things. Also, Troy told me to tell you to be happy. I hope you're doing well. Bye, Billy. If it isn't Greg, then Kai has adopted the whole I'm going to use my children to make you feel bad. This is from when Ayala first pointed out that we thought something odd was going on with them and Sarah. Onision to Ayala and Billy. I know you guys don't want to live out the rest of your life knowing you lied about someone and they forever paid the price for your lie. All I'm asking is you both admit the truth. Admit that you both know very well that Kai, brackets Lainey, is not a bad person and did not do things to either of you or Sarah. Your accusations have put an innocent human being through so much torment. It will follow them for the rest of their life unless you speak up and correct what you have done. I get why you guys would be mad at me. I broke up with Billy and asked her to do extreme things to prove she was ever worth dating again. But this is wrong, you guys. Kai is innocent. Sarah is innocent. Oh, so Sarah's innocent now, is she? Funny, I thought you said that she was a rapist. You guys are responsible for a false accusation that hurts real victims. It makes them look less credible, and if you support victims of actual crimes, you need to come forward and admit Kai is wrong. And admit Kai is innocent. That was a Freudian slip. I don't know why you hurt someone who is an incredible mother, an incredible spouse, and a great person like this. Greg, are you misgendering your own wife? Surely they are an incredible father, no? And a great person like this. And if you're wondering why I'm writing you, side note, I've always hated it when Greg says writing you. I write you, not writing to you. I write to you. It's because when you make accusations, they follow you for the rest of your life. You can both walk away like nothing happened, but you ruined a life. Until you make that right, how could you ever say you are good people? So fucking dramatic. He talks like he's in a movie. And Sarah has also taken a screenshot saying, I thought you said Kai was innocent, Onision. Blue is Kai, grey is Greg. I'm saying I don't want to be best friends with her, nor do I want to be in a relationship with her because she has hurt me and lied to me multiple times. Wow, my tweets. Which we also agreed were ridiculous, but now you're retracting that too. You are a cold person. You took her heart and stomped in it because she was scared the person she lost her virginity to did not care about her. And she was right, because you are exactly that. A cold, heartless person who used her best friend and left her for dead. What the fuck is he talking about? Oh, he's so dramatic. Kai sent me their entire fight. Also, you can see, like, this is recent, clearly, so you can see what Greg thinks about the whole, like, Kai misgendering thing when Kai's own husband is saying, you're a cold person who used her best friend. Huh. Isn't it weird that they live in the same house but they text each other all the time? They can't stand talking to each other. Not only that, but a girl under the name Luximu has come forward with screenshots from the time that Onision tried to pressure this girl, another teenager. Greg tried to pressure this other girl into being part of the Trinity. Luximu said, the convo is long, none of this makes me look good and honestly gives me severe anxiety, exposing how pathetic I was in this situation. I'm going to release the full conversation from start to finish. I was very much intimidated by Greg and wanted so badly for Kai to like me. Because Kai was my idol. Fuck if I know why, I have logical reason. I was questioning my sexuality at the time. I kissed Greg's ass a lot. He made a smear campaign against her name. This is when he was still cracking 500,000 views per video, so he was a lot bigger than he is now. So he could abuse his status. He's changed his name to James. I don't know why. I mean, it's one of his names, but still. Whatever. Avaro. Hey, Lainey isn't blunt, but I am, so I just want to make sure you know she's really attracted to you physically. She texts you a lot, in part because of this attraction. And if you do not feel the same about her, I hope you'll be okay with making that clear so she doesn't put her heart more on the line. Thank you so much, Hayley. I like Lainey too. Talking to them as part of this, the highlight of my day. I'd never want to lead anyone on like that. I'm pretty blunt. I think they're one of the most attractive, kind, all-around amazing people I've ever had the pleasure of talking to. Thank you for letting me know. It's actually teared me up. Onision, you seem pretty perfect for her. That makes me happy. Thank you for being so good to her, Hayley. Thank you, ditto. I asked Lainey about flying you up to meet her. It seems she wants to wait as she would like to impress you. And because she just had a beautiful baby, her body is recovering. Is it interesting how he said she just had a beautiful baby? Not we. She had the baby. Greg's language is fascinating because it always betrays how he actually feels. Luxemy thinks it's a good idea to wait. I'm moving to Arizona the day after Christmas, so I'll be settling in and getting used to my new store. By the way, they only knew each other for like 2 weeks and were talking for like 9 days or something like that. And Nishion's already been like, I will fly you out here. Just for Lainey. Not for me. I have nothing to do with this. Just for Lainey. Seriously, if you are ever concerned about anything, please come to me. Lainey is only interested in you/me, but sometimes she says stuff on Twitter to other people that seems flirtatious. So if something like that throws you off, I'll happily talk to you about whatever is on your mind. I take pride in transparency, honesty. Most honest YouTuber. Hey, I want you to know everyone's full intentions, and this just crossed my mind. When you're in a relationship with someone and you give them 100% of your relationship-related love to that one person, but when you're in Lainey's shoes, your heart gets divided. So say Lainey dates you, I now have a fraction of the attention I had before. A lot of people look at the situation and think, well, if you get a girlfriend, I'll get a girlfriend. But me doing that would only divide Lainey and I and would equate to her and I having what many describe as side chicks. This kind of relationship does not have a lot of meaning, depth, or much of a future in mind. I want to be part of a relationship where everyone is happy with each other, loves each other romantically. When Lainey was with her last girlfriend made the mistake of giving the most attention to me, which is not what I told her to do, wanted her to do, and it screwed everything up because she was more than clearly no longer there for Lainey, but mostly rather there for me. Considering all this, I want you to know that my interest is having a balanced, healthy, three-person relationship that has a lifespan as long as our own. Again, they've been talking for less than 10 days, and Greg has already been like, for the rest of our lives, I want this three-way relationship. Most of my love and affection can be directed at Lainey for as long as I can foresee. The same should apply for you. Essentially, we would be in a three-way relationship focused on one beautiful person, Lainey, but the balance would remain where no one isolates the other and everyone is loving, wonderful to each other. I hope this all sounds amazing to you. I just don't want you to get into something without knowing very well what that is. Also, Lainey knows I wrote you all this. Her biggest concern is that she doesn't be put second like she was before. Based on how intelligent you seem, how dedicated you appear to be, I don't feel there is much to worry about. You seem honest. Lexi said, I completely understand where you come from, though I'm not entirely sure what a three-way relationship implies. I really like her a lot. I'm going to try and skip ahead of some of these, okay? To have everyone emotionally happy it basically just means everyone is literally good, positive, loving towards everyone. Put simply, it's like a two-person relationship, only with one more person. That third person being treated just as fairly, loved, just as the other two. The variable, however, is I work a lot, so the person you'll be giving the most attention to is Lainey. I like seeing Lainey feeling happy with a woman, so long as I can care for that woman as well. Everyone will be exclusive to each other in that relationship, and if you really think about it, a successful trinity is so cringe. A successful trinity is far more strong than a typical relationship for a number of reasons. Happy to go in depth down the line. Really? Because your marriage sucks. Your relationship seems like hell. Importantly, don't think you have to change what you're doing now. Just know that there is a good chance that once you're here, I will likely see you in a romantic way, just as Lainey sees you. It's okay to see us both romantically, just as long as you don't forget Lainey is the priority for as long as I can foresee. What I mean by exclusive to each other is that we would all be only in a relationship with each of us, the three of us collectively. Although you and Lainey are free to express, do whatever you like with each other romantically. As Lainey with a woman I will care about, it's beautiful to me. So then, you know, Luxie's like, I'll try for Lainey because I like her. Then they talk about video games for a bit and VR and stuff. Interestingly, Luxie says at one point, thanks, I'll get it on Friday. That's when I get paid. And Nishan goes, you work paycheck to paycheck. Like, obviously, judging her. Yeah, I myself am a saver. I get money, I put X amount of dollars in savings and carefully spend the rest. A lot of Americans are paycheck to paycheck though. It's interesting. What he means by that is, it's pathetic and I'm better than you. I suppose at this point in time he was still earning a lot of money, but isn't it fucking funny? You're such a saver, Greg, yet you're in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt to the IRS in Washington State because you're such a fucking idiot. That's part of why I took over Lainey's college tuition. Her dad was using it to control her, so I told her I'll pay for it so she could no longer be controlled by him. And be controlled by me instead. And now she's graduating. So that's why I'm giving Lainey like $4,000 a month since we had our first major upset back in January. She realised that if she and I ever split, she would almost have nothing. So I said, well, I don't want you to have nothing. I began to give her that amount, not to only build her credit, but she could also cover expenses of the household, make her more independent while increasing the amount she has in savings. That's so awesome that you do that for them, seriously. No, it's like get out of jail money, ironically. It's Onision kind of hoping that Kai will take the hint at some point. These are just funny because they're ironic. We just owe money on the house, most everything else is paid off. I'm finally done with alimony to my ex in April. That's like 6 years total. Seems like everyone in the house is becoming more independent and financially stable, but we'll see. I don't try to. I assume everything is always going to be okay. I'm always kind of scared. Yeah, good reason. Look, fast forward 3 years. It's actually the next day because I didn't have enough time to film this all yesterday. So let's try and see where we got to. It's also good to save as much money as seems reasonable. I'm working towards being basically fear-free. Retirement? I don't think so. I'm crazy dedicated to what I do. It gives me meaning. So unless he's put in prison, he's going to be doing this I'm a banana shit until he's 70. Great. Now this is where it gets to the good bits. By good, I mean awful. I'm sorry you are so bummed, we are too. Looking back on what I said, it seemed like it was just because of you, and that's not the case. I didn't want a three-way relationship either. I feel like an asshole, and I'm so sorry for the way it came across. Freeway relationships are awesome. They make you feel like you're part of something bigger and you just feel stronger overall. That and multiplayer video games are always better. There is the taboo factor, which we just assume you didn't want to be part of because of your religion, which is a bad reason to avoid great potential for happiness on awesome levels. And it sounded that way. It sounded amazing when you described it, but when I was digging deep within myself, I also realised I want what you have, a family and a happy marriage. While I am a Christian, that did not play a factor in my decision making. I was basing everything off of my own feelings about it. Is there something wrong with having a family of one father and two mums? Well, no, but I didn't think I could. I wouldn't want you to get into something that has a high risk of letting everyone down, but the family is still possible with Lainey and marriage. Well, is Lainey not worth it? Onision and this girl have been talking for like 8 days and he's talking about marriage. That's a fucking red flag. Lainey is definitely worth it. Doubt. But I have to think of what I want for myself too. If she was worth it, you'd be all for it because you would want it. Because again, that's what being worth it means. He's probably Googling dictionary definitions as he was writing this out. You're not fighting for love. But your position is clear. It's just odd you acted like it would work at first when you knew what our intentions were before we all spoke in the first place. Because I truly thought I could do it. I truly thought I could, and that I wanted it. Okay, well, let's be clear. Lainey is not worth it to you. Otherwise, you would have moved forward, as that is what worth it means. So let's stop pretending. It's all okay, though, in the sense that we would not want you to be in anything less than 100% in. I really believe you missed out, though. Maybe down the line you'll see that, but it'll very likely be too late then. Goodbye, Hayley. He's so dramatic. He's so gross. You're right, if Lainey was worth it to me, I would go through with it. And while I'm not okay with going through with it, I don't want that to mean that I didn't have feelings for them, because I did. Very strong feelings. In the end, I had to be selfish with my feelings, though. This lifestyle isn't for everyone, which is completely fair enough. We don't even remotely hate you. We're just bummed out you chose a generic cookie-cutter nuclear life over the awesome person she is, as the person... I have difficulties reading out these texts because he doesn't know how to fucking write properly. The only time I genuinely get angry at Onision is when his grammar is atrocious. Also, if you want a generic nuclear family, fine. If you want to be in a polyamorous relationship, fine. Stop trying to bully people into agreeing with you. You're such a control freak. Greg, go fuck yourself. I'm just looking at these messages and I'm so enraged at this fucking sentence. I'm so mad. Over the awesome person she is, as the person... What does that even mean? Turning away two people you really like for normality and the potential to hook up with some guy in a marriage that statistically is more likely to fail than succeed. Your trinity has already fucking failed. Several times. Show me a time where your trinity has worked out, Greg. Then talk to me about statistics. If this is your gut talking, then go with your gut. You gut. Just know, we do not at all hate you. It is your life and you want what you want. It is my gut. Thank you for understanding. At this point in the conversation, I told him to go fuck himself with a rusty spoon. I wish you guys the best and truly hope you find someone amazing to bring into your family. Thanks, Greg. Well, I think... Goodbye. No, wait, there's more. Well, I think you're... Oh, he's such a twat. I think your gut tells you to do things not because they're necessarily right, but because they are what is meant for you in your life. I'm not sure why your gut told you before to pursue this relationship is now telling you not to pursue it. Confusing as heck. Heckin' confusing with 2 C's. Alright, maybe it's because she thought that she was just going to be Lainey's girlfriend and then you were all like, no, this is going to be a freeway relationship now. It's not like you and Kai were upfront and honest about this clearly if it came as a shock to Hayley that, oh no, this is going to be a freeway relationship. Honestly, you're just such a... You ever get so mad that you just want to blow up your own face? But I support everyone doing what they feel is best for themselves so long as they are not hurting anyone. And you don't seem to be hurting anyone but feelings to a small degree, so I support your decision as well. Not saying that you need it, just saying there is no significant hard feelings. Good luck in your life, Hayley. Hope it's an awesome one. It's confusing for me too, to be honest, but seriously, thank you so much for understanding. You are both very kind and honest people. They aren't. Hey now, I'm not that kind. Correct. Just to you and a select amount of other people. It's still very appreciated considering I don't deserve it. You know, you could have always met us first before you concluded it wasn't worth pursuing. Then you would have, if you met them within 5 seconds, you would have definitely concluded it wasn't worth pursuing. It's funny to give up before you even really know the people you're giving up on. Yeah, we've seen the shit show life you have all across the internet for the past several years. I think we all know you pretty fucking well, Greg. I thought about that, but then I thought if I did that, feelings would be hurt way worse than they already are if I still didn't think this wasn't for me. I didn't want to feel like I was leading anybody on. Like, I didn't want to show up, meet your family, create this bond, and then my feelings not change on the freeway relationship part of it all, thus letting you both down even more. That's cute, but somewhat silly. You visiting as a friend risks nothing. Within 5 seconds of her going there, Greg would have tried to fuck her, and we all know it. Would you be willing to make a collab video of Lainey for her channel? Then we could make you a business friend with all expenses would be tax deductible, not as big as her financial loss. It's so funny looking back because he tried to make everything like his house tax deductible because it's a business expense because he uses it as videos. It's so funny reading this now and just knowing that a year or so's time the IRS comes a knocking. It's like amazing foreshadowing for his downfall. If you guys wanted me to, then sure, you're both okay with me being friends. Yeah, friends until your gut or heart tells you otherwise, which maybe never. Shrugs. Ugh. Why does he talk like that? Shrugs. Like, mate, you're 30. And you're both okay with it if it's never. If you think there's a chance you'll have a change of heart, then it's worth a shot. But if you've made up your mind and don't believe there's a chance, then Lainey will probably think it isn't worth to risk falling for you when there is no chance to return feelings. Like, if you think meeting her could change things, you should visit, but if it winds up you're not into it, then at least you tried and everyone is fine. Basically, you should just be blunt, raw, and tell me the real probability and we'll go from there. The probability is very slim because when I came to the conclusion I did, it felt right to me. It felt like the right choice even though it was hard. The last thing I want to do is cause more pain. Okay, what does your heart say? Seems you may have gone cold. Cold to Lainey, I mean. I think my big problem is I have a big ego about Lainey. I think she's like the bee's knees. I want to smash my phone against my own head. The bee's knees, so anyone who doesn't fight to the death for her seems crazy to me. That's why I tried to side away the rights of my children to her so I could fuck an 18-year-old. Practice what you preach, you dickhead. People are different. I'm just really like, whoa, no way when you pulled out. It's okay. I'm giving up if you are, Hayley. I just love seeing Lainey be fully happy and being part of a trinity. She is bi, so the best of both worlds just seems awesome to see experience with her. There we go. That's what it's all about. It's nice for me to have two people in this trinity so I can masturbate over you two making out. By the way, if the chances being slim is, say, less than 25% chance, then we should not kid ourselves. But if it was more, let's all schedule your flight and enjoy a couple of days together as friends. He's so pushy. It's so creepy. Well, the only thing you could not get with us is a government-recognised marriage. Does that sound accurate? I want one person. I want to have one person that's for me and only me. And for me to be the only one for that person exclusively. Maybe it makes me selfish. You could argue that both monogamy and polyamory are natural. It's not unnatural, because if it was unnatural, it wouldn't exist. Like, it would be unnatural for me to run at the speed of light, and it's impossible for me to do so because it's unnatural. Do you know what I mean? If it exists, it is natural. Even if you want to act like a complete twat, that's still natural. Don't know where I'm going with this. Basically, it doesn't make you selfish, but I'm sure you know that. It's fine. It's also fine to be in a polyamorous relationship if it's done properly and there's proper trust and communication established. The reason it doesn't work with Greg and Kai, number one, they're both fuckwits. Number two, they think they can communicate via Twitter DMs. They don't seem to have a straight, like, forward face-to-face conversation. There's absolutely no communication in their house, as Billy said before, so there's no way that polyamory, or even a real marriage and loving relationship, could ever work between the two. She's just repeating herself now, because Greg doesn't get it. Here's his essays. Well, here's the thing, with that one person, you only get to experience a relationship at certain times, like when they're around, not working on a trip or whatever. That's why you have something called friends, Gregory. You have, with three people, you have three total people who value support, are there for each other. Part of why I enjoy a trinity with Lainey is I can work and know she is still getting attention, love from someone I care about. How insecure do you have to be to, like, constantly need to be around someone that's going to love you and give you attention? Kai moved in with Onision when they were 17 or whatever, right? So Kai has been living in this Neverland. What an apt analogy. In this Neverland, the Peter Pan one, not the Michael Jackson one, where they never had to grow up and they just lived in like this constant playground of, oh, I could just like, you know, play video games and not work and just be around like this person who's going to give me constant attention all the time. I'm just baffled. Like, how insecure do you have to be need to be in that kind of environment? I like my alone time, being by myself. I have a lot of fun when I'm just by myself. Not in that way. When Lainey goes to sleep, I tend to stay up later. I'm able to watch anime or whatever with a third part of the trinity and bond. With two people, you're completely dependent on that one person. Whereas with three, I mean, no room is built with two walls. They all have at least three to be a complete structure. People aren't rooms, you numbnut. But what I'm saying is falling on deaf ears, I'm sure. Life experience, being able to compare to loving two-way relationship to a loving three, it sometimes takes being there. Also, love is not exactly about owning someone as you described. Love is about doing what is best for your loved ones and doing what is best for them is for you as well. Seeing Lainey's love grow when there's a third person, seeing the strength it gave her is incredible. What strength? It seems diabolical from all accounts. You have to not be so jealous or possessive when it comes to three people though, and you sound like you kind of are, you know. You said it yourself, you want to basically own someone. Just that one person and not allow them to share their love mutually with a third. It's common but pretty undeniably highly restrictive, kind of like a prison, a love prison. Your love is all mine, if anyone else, no matter how much I like them, and even if I get love from them, likes them too, get your love, I'm gonna freak thing. There's just a lot here, okay? There's just a lot here. So, because I'm on a time crunch right now, I'm just going to read Greg's part for the most part going forward, because Luxie Moo is just repeating herself because Greg is so fucking dense, it would take a sledgehammer to get any information through to him. Also, this is just my personal opinion, but giving and receiving love from two people you love at once, it's pretty close to bliss. That's what it's about for him. This is all that it's about. He just wants to shag two people at once. We are all defined by our actions, not a few. My father did a lot of good things in his life, but he's also a predator. Considering Elysion projects and calls everyone a predator, you know, people like Shane Dawson, I don't believe that his dad actually was a paedophile, like he says. Don't trust people by the actions you witness alone, okay, Hayley? Most human beings are far more than they appear. Not saying I'm a bad person, just, you know, you should know a person in depth. Greg keeps going on at Luxie because she, rejected him, I guess. I don't understand the value of friendship. I have a big family, so I have a support system there. The Onion family. And love romance obviously offers improvements to one's life, but think about it, what could a friend, you, offer us that my family members or even my romantic partner could not? So my point, why invest time in that? Like, he's so creepy, the way he just goes on and on at someone because they don't want to shag him. Lainey told me you're sad, why? Normally if you're sad, that means something is wrong, so how do you make it right? He's trying to push her. Lainey is the type to obsess over people she has shared certain emotions with. You can't really bother her. She is a caring, understanding person. She knows that either way you're still leaving her. So I mean, abandoning a potentially beautiful relationship is what you're doing, and she knows that. Boo-hoo, Lainey is such a special little snowflake. It's so sad. Are you not just trying to make yourself feel better? Is that not what this is about? Because the damage is done to Lainey. A time machine would fix her. If that's about it, I think. Your gut told you to run, so maybe just let go. You want to feel better about it. Sometimes we do things and there is no apologising our way out of feeling bad of it. We just have to live with who we are. Lainey knows you are sorry, but she also feels like you messed with her unintentionally but played games without knowing it. It's just the same. Saying sorry for this is like saying sorry for breaking someone's window while offering nothing to replace it. The damage is done. You don't fix it. We will just have to move on. And then the cold wind comes in because the window is still broken and none of us are responsible enough to put up a window ourselves. Greg's analogies are the fucking worst. You have just shown more consideration for Lainey just today than her ex-girlfriend had in months. I think you should come up as a friend and hang out with us for a couple of days. When you come, no expectations, you seem like a really good person. I'm going to keep trying to push this because I hate having sex with my own wife/husband now. You care a lot. Lainey could use a visit from someone who cares a lot. Lainey's not against it. Dates? I feel like something is broken in your mind. This just seems like such a great thing. Makes me laugh in a frustrated sense. Anyway, I guess we'll figure out flight stuff mid-December if we're all eager, still happy. Your mind's broken because you're not doing what I want. I just can't fathom not doing anything I could do to be with Lainey under these circumstances. Maybe because Kai is a twat as well. So yeah, broken, or maybe my logic is broken. Good night, Hayley. I'm so mad. You're such a good match and like everyone involved. But disregard all that for fear of a number. 2 for the price of 1. I'm so mad. It would be nice to be able to understand it. I'm so mad. Have you tried reading the way you write? Now he backtracks and he's like, friendship will be hard, even though I've been trying to force you and push you to come out so we could all hang out as friends. He's so transparent. He's so transparent. He is the broken window he was just talking about. So really, this was all just to be our friend, and this was a play to get you to friendship status. You really screwed us over. Nothing more to say. You made it clear Lainey has no romantic future with you. It's probably best to walk away. Friendship at this point is not reasonable. Feelings for you would no doubt linger and make things even more painful. One thing I want to know is regarding sexuality, are you not a very sexual person? As in, you don't think about it a lot, you don't fantasize? This is all it's about for him. I'm asking because it seems like you are sexually dormant and you do not understand the emotional, physical, even spiritually life-changing reality behind two people you care devoting themselves to you in the most intimate ways. ... Greg, you don't have to shag two people at once to experience really good sex. Maybe if you went for people who weren't literal teenagers with barely any sexual experience, you would know that. Or maybe you're just insecure and you don't want to go for someone your own age because then they might realise how shit at sex you are. After all, I'm not going to bother trawling through the thousands of videos he has to find it, but he has said once on camera that he thinks it's gross when vaginas are like all wet. Meaning he likes them to be dry, meaning the other person isn't aroused by his micro carrot penis. So let's just say you find two people, their gender is irrelevant. Let's just say hypothetically you say these two people you fall in love with, they want to both bring you to the heights of physical and emotional satisfaction. You respond with, no, I'd rather live and die like most of everyone else, living only the socially normal levels of happiness fulfillment. You want to fall in love with someone, you want to dedicate yourself to someone, the dedication feels wonderful, the love feels wonderful, making love to them as well, it's amazing. Right, so multiply that person you love times 2 and now it's bad? I never said it was bad. If this is 100% your stance, then click leave conversation and give up. Just say so. Why don't you leave conversation? You said you were going to leave the conversation like several paragraphs ago. Billy was fake bi, not you. Once Billy got into a relationship, she really tried to kiss Lainey and do anything really. She was a fraud, but she would try to kiss me all the time. Don't believe that. You do not want to be your just Lainey either, right? It seems like you want a husband, someone you can have to yourself. So being into Lainey in the first place on your part seems like it was just you being confused about your sexuality. So if I made love to Lainey, you would not mind doing the same down the line at the same time. As in both of us focusing on her. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't think I can. You don't think you can or you cannot. We're talking about potentially the rest of our lives. They've been talking for less than 10 days. I'm willing to work with you as you seem kind of honest and kind. But there can never be a time where lovemaking becomes a separate session which I am not allowed to be a part of. Otherwise that would literally divide us all. He's so creepy. Like imagine I want to spend time with a lady and you two are making love. So what do I do? I'm basically forbidden from being 100% part of my Lainey's life at certain times, which is really bad. I don't know, why don't you just go whack off to some hentai anime like you usually do for 3 hours? I'm going to click leave conversation. I tried really hard to make this work, but you refused to budge. Goodbye. I had a long talk with Lainey about her ex. The girl is completely toxic. I thought you were leaving the conversation, Greg. And does not care about her. Problem is she's stuck on that girl and you are the only one to distract from that. Take away her sadness. You are filling a void. I want to accept your terms. You can have a separate relationship with Lainey while she continues her relationship with me. If you two are ever intimate, I'll not be a part of it. You're a solution to a big problem. Considering all this, are you going to move forward? Basically, Kai was just using this girl as a distraction. When Lainey loves someone, it is crippling. That love is lost. Lainey's theory was that you don't really care about her. Why can't Lainey talk for themselves, ever? At this point, I kind of agree. So now I don't know what we're going to do about Billy. It's like drowning in the sea and screaming for you to throw us a line. And you're saying, I'm not in the right boat because I'm not sure I can make it all the way back to land. What is this? Analogy is even fucking mean. It's almost like nothing about Lainey's life was truly appealing to you. Like you blatantly wasted everyone's time and emotions, which makes you not a good person after all. Sigh, leaving this conversation. You were worth the risk. Blah, blah, blah. Greg complaining. Please don't write back, you're making it worse. Why don't you just shut up for once then? And then there's text conversations between Lainey at the time and Luxie, in which Luxie's trying to, you know, kiss Lainey's ass a bit, saying, you're amazing, you're kind, you're attractive, blah, blah. I can't do a three-way relationship. And then the phone goes over to Greg. This is Greg. Thanks for being honest. Like, Kai is not in control of their own medias, ever. Greg has all the passwords to Kai's social medias and control of Kai's phone, apparently. How fucking creepy is that he has to butt his way into everything that Kai does? Imagine living in that environment. It is no wonder that Kai has now turned into another thunder twat. Like, it's no wonder that they've gone, you know, cuckoo from living with this ogre. You're not into me, Greg, so it's just me, blah, blah, blah. You like my personality a lot. Lainey has the phone now. I don't understand why people want to talk to Kai anyway, because in any text conversation I've seen of like Kai and someone else, they are just like the most bland, vanilla, boring person. Like one sentence answers to people. I don't get it. You're literally the only girl I talked to and I was genuinely interested in you, and you betrayed the hell out of me after wasting my time and leading me on. See how Kai has morphed into Greg. You betrayed me by releasing private details of our conversation. All I said about the Billy thing was that we talked a little about the horrible things she did. Even so, even if everyone knew, you still gave that information to people who blatantly out to hurt me, who want my kids taken from me, using their kids against people. A fine tactic learned from Gregory, 10 out of 10. That's betrayal. You don't do that shit to someone you claim to care about. I see they've got their love of theatre from Greg as well. I've talked to 4 people ever. Oh, that's sad, isn't it? And the only people I talked to for more than 2 weeks was Billy, you, Erin, Kennedy, and Billy. Billy twice. Let go of Billy. I told my side. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to die down. Like I said, I'm not accepting any followers. I'm not talking about this to anyone else. Your side. Kai, you're such a twat as well. So here's the timeline of events. On the 11th of the 18th, 2016, Kai, Lainey at the time, messaged me, immediate flirting. On the 21st of the same month, Kai asked about my sexuality. We began officially talking. On the 26th, Greg messages me for the first time. 29th, I back out and change my mind. Greg begins trying to convince me to reconsider on the 30th. On the 1st of the 12th, he finally gives up. Talking days, 8 total days involved, 13. Isn't that sickening? Isn't that just outrageous? Total days involved with these two sycophants, these two with Dumb and Dumber. 13 days, not even 2 weeks, and they were being crazy. We're talking about the rest of our lives here. You betrayed us. Oh my god, it's so dramatic. Like, fucking hell. Watch some soaps or something. Your life doesn't have to be the soap opera, Kai and Greg. Oh, something I should clarify is that in 2016, I was not a minor. I was freshly 21. Even if you were 21, it's still, like, so fucking weird. It's so weird to try to pressure someone into being in, like, a three-way relationship. You've not even... It's weird to try and pressure someone into being into, like, a one-person, a two-person relationship if you've only been talking for, like, you know, less than 2 weeks. It's so weird. Anyway, that's all for this video. I have a feeling that it's going to be another long one, but there was a lot of text conversations to read through. Onision is still just trying to ignore this and call it all silly rumours. I will keep updating this as it goes. I normally wouldn't do a bunch of videos about one person in such a short amount of time with each other, but because this is literally going to be the end of the Onision, I want to document this because it's fantastic. We've been waiting 10 years for this to happen, for him to finally fall. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will continue to update this as it goes along. Remember, if you like this video, do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Every like is another tear that Kai sheds whilst crying. And I'll see you next time.